black dads and how we view black dads in the media, we're fed a very shallow, narrow point of view where they're either absentee fathers or they don't have the willpower to get involved in the kid's life. Dope Black Dads are changing that conversation by talking about the highs and the lows of parenthood and creating their own network when sometimes society doesn't provide the network.
The Dope Black Dads, we kind of started about a year ago on Father's Day, and it started off just from us getting together and wanting to talk to each other about the lives that we had, being fathers, how do we, do certain things and how can we connect. And then we decided it was really rich information, and then we created a podcast.
Being a young black man in the UK, if you had kids, you were going to have several kids in different places. That was what the kind of the ideology that was impacted and kind of put down onto me, what I as at a young age perceived it to be. I experienced a miscarriage, my wife experienced a miscarriage last say, and you don't quite know, on a daily basis you feel a certain way, and no one really talks about it.
I don't have any other groups like this, and then you realise that actually people are going through things and not sharing it.
We want to empower people to be able to feel that they can share this stuff. That they can talk about a lot of these taboos that you might not want to talk about, that in your daily lives that you can't talk about. This is a place where you can come and do it. There's always this perception in society that black men don't talk. But when you wake up in the morning and you think you've woken up early at 7 o'clock and you've got 150, 200 messages from other guys basically talking about everything, you can't tell me black men don't talk, because they talk more than anyone else.
What kind of parents would you like your kids to be now that you're really engaging this movement and starting a conversation rolling out? What would you like or hope them to be in the future when they're in the future?
The framework that I have I'll tell you what my framework for my parenting is that you don't harm yourself, you don't harm anybody else, and you try your hardest.
A movement that essentially started from 10 to 20 dads has grown to 162 dads. And I'm sure we'll carry on growing.
As with any issue, you start to realise that things are much more complex when you scratch the surface. Fatherhood, being a dope black father, is all about sharing your story and creating a network, making people who are feeling isolated come together and realise that they actually have power and they actually can share their story and own it for the better. And that's what being a dope black dad is all about.